On the morning of March 4, 2002, John Andrew Chapman woke to the sound of weather alarms in his temporary camp on the outskirts of the Hindu Kush Mountains in Afghanistan. The temperature was freezing, and the wind tore at his frail body beneath his heavy military uniform. This wasn't the first time the para-rescue jumper from the US Air Force faced the harshest combat conditions, but what awaited him at Takur Ghar would forever etch his name in history. Chapman grew up in the town of Swinton, Massachusetts, where he inherited a love for adventure and challenge from his father, a pharmacist who took him on frequent hunting trips in the nearby forests. From a young age, he learned to rely on himself in the face of danger. In high school, he practiced skydiving and long-distance swimming. He graduated from the Air Force in 1997 and then underwent years of grueling training until he became part of the elite PJ unit, specialized in rescuing the wounded behind enemy lines and gathering intelligence. When Operation Anaconda launched in early March 2002, the weather posed serious challenges to all participants. Coalition forces aimed to control strategic highlands in the Shah-e-Kot Valley, but the peak that would later become known as Takur Ghar was a natural fortress nearly impossible to breach. The small team embarked on a surprise airborne insertion, driven by a fighting spirit and a humanitarian mission to protect civilians and ensure regional security. At a critical moment during the landing, one parachute was suddenly thrown off course by a snowstorm, and pararescueman Neil Roberts fell far down the mountainside. Without hesitation, Chapman jumped from over 3,000 meters, directing his teammates to form an immediate rescue unit. Bombs fell under heavy threat, and enemy fire surrounded them from all sides. Chapman advanced with steady steps, guided by his expertise in difficult terrain and his ability to conceal himself among rocks and snow. The bullets made no distinction between the wounded and the brave. One struck his thigh, another hit his shoulder. The pain was unbearable, and his blood nearly froze in the mountain cold. Looking around, he saw Roberts struggling to cling to life. He raised his voice, trying to call out to him, but the nearby sound of a machine gun made clear the battle was far from over. When his teammates believed he had succumbed and fallen, Chapman thought his final moment had come. But he gathered his strength once more, tore a strip of cloth to press against his wound, and leaned his back against a massive rock. He began scouting enemy positions with patience and resolve, lifting his light weapon to fire shot after shot at gathering points. Internally, he kept repeating phrases of hope, believing in the need to hold on until the very last moment. Minutes passed like a lifetime until small explosions echoed nearby, signaling the arrival of aerial reinforcements. In those moments, Chapman drew a smile on his bloodied face, as if to say, "I kept my promise." Then he closed his eyes peacefully, still standing, his weapon's grip frozen to his hand. Later, when the unit commander watched the thermal video footage documenting Chapman's heroic movement, the world realized what had taken place was more than just a battle. A thorough investigation was conducted, reconstructing events with precision. A soldier gravely wounded who continued to fight and protect his comrades until death. For the first time in history, this brave serviceman was awarded the US Medal of Honor based on visual evidence. Today, Chapman's memorial stands at Elphinstone Air Force Base, a testament to an unforgettable sacrifice. Every time a new fighter walks past it, they are reminded that true determination is not measured by physical strength alone, but by the resolve to protect comrades and the mission, no matter the cost. His story may be far from the spotlight, but he has become an icon for all who refuse to surrender in the face of adversity. And so we end his story with a lasting lesson. When the odds are at their worst, the hero saves his comrades, even if it costs him his life. These are the traits of true courage, which never dies, but lights the way for others. If this video inspired you, hit the like button and share the story with your friends. Subscribe to the channel for more real stories of unsung heroes.